Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of the new Q&A series, and I'll just get right into the questions. The first question is, what is your favorite Mexican dish? I don't like a lot of the real saucy ones. Like, I used to think I could eat like really authentic Mexican, and I ate it recently, like a real authentic place, and I got like sick, like acid reflux attack in like within like 20 minutes of eating it. It was bad. I mean, I truthfully really like. I mean, what I can eat of it, without having a problem, is that like the breakfast burrito, with egg, potato, and things like that. I can eat the sauce and stuff. Something about that one place, though, I don't know what it was. It was like, and it wasn't a cheap place or something. It was like a real authentic restaurant. And I just like right afterwards, was like, ugh. But quesadillas and things like that. A lot of places now, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, all of a sudden menus in certain places have been changing. I don't know, like the fact I talk about the menus, but this is something I've noticed. All of a sudden in the last like month or so, everywhere is changing up the menu. What's that? Polo Loco has totally changed the menu. A whole bunch of them have all of a sudden changed the menu. It's very interesting. All of a sudden, it's happening everywhere. And places that have had the same menu for like the last 15 years have changed it. Besides Gilligan's Island, what is your favorite sitcom? Things like Lucy, Brady Bunch, a lot of the old ones. I watch some of the newer stuff, but Married with Children. But like I don't really watch sitcoms now. I mean, I like Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's probably one of my favorite comedies of all time now. Especially last season was so good. Um, you look cool with stubble, by the way. Yeah, sometimes I don't shave. Would you ever be willing to debate with someone who disagrees with all your movie tastes very strongly? I don't like getting into lots of arguments about stuff. I mean, there's sometimes if somebody says something really crazy, maybe then what I mean, or really puts down something. But I've only gotten mad at somebody for really putting something down. I mean, I think it's fine to explain if you don't like a movie, explain why, give your reasons, and maybe say what you could change, things like that. But just people who berate a movie for no reason, especially like Bucky Larson. A lot of people have been giving the movie a lot of crap, and you know what? It's a silly, ridiculous, movie. But if you actually watch it, it has a really funny story. Christina Ricci is funny in it. I like Christina Ricci in it. It's really not a horrible movie. The trailers they cut for it were weird as shit, but it's really not a horrible movie. But there's just sometimes people, have these things about movies that are just like, oh, they're horrible and won't see it. I was glad to see Brendan Hardesty in it too. Is it true you used to let MJ spank you when you thought you misbehaved? No, I didn't. He didn't spank me. Do you read comic books, or are you a fan of comic book movies? If so, what are some of your favorites? Now, I never really have read comic books. Do you think they should make Jackass 4? I mean, I don't know. With Ryan Dunn gone, I mean, I think they may. I don't know. They're just getting so old, and it's so dangerous for them to keep doing that themselves. But I would watch it. What are your favorite After Dark Horror Fest films? I think Mulberry Street was a really good one. Tooth and Nail, which my friend Kevin was in. What are some other ones that were really good? I feel like they were better in the beginning. I feel like the newer ones are not as good. I don't know. There's the one in the prison that I liked. It was not the prison, the hospital with director of the Night of Demons remake did. That was a really good one. Who do you like better, Kenny or Spenny? I like both of them. The one guy, I think Spenny. The skinnier, kind of like goofier one, always kind of reminds me of the American Pickers guy a little bit. How do you like Iceland? Well, I'm not in Iceland. I've never been there. Have you ever seen a real ghost or UFO? If so, what happened? No, I never have. What movie do you hate the most? I don't know. I don't know for sure on that. Who would win in a fight to the death? Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason. Michael Myers, Freddy, or Jason. I don't know. See, some of those are kind of weird, hard. How much stuff from your basement did you have to get rid of before you moved to San Diego? Well, I mean, I got rid of a lot of the old props, a lot of the old costumes. Like the night we got rid of that stuff, I was sort of just like wanting to get rid of it. I do regret, some of the stuff I got rid of. I threw away a lot of stuff, not thinking at the time that I did it. But I didn't get rid of any DVDs. If I got rid of any, I sold them. I got rid of some toys. I didn't really get rid of them. I gave a lot of them to Goodwill, and then I also gave them to the consignment woman who screwed us over and didn't ever sell them and disappeared off the face of the earth with all kinds of stuff. But whatever. But I kept all the toys though that I really liked. Like I didn't get rid of any of the ones that I like. I mean, I got rid of like the Land of the Lost ones, which I regret getting rid of. The consignment woman I think got those. I don't know. That was a shitty situation because like we gave her so much stuff and she just screwed us over. What's a good 80s movie you would recommend? 80s horror movie you would recommend? I mean, if you haven't seen it, Return of the Living Dead is the best. Do your parents ever give you input on your career goals? If so, what is your 5-year plan? I mean, pretty much just what I'm doing now. I mean, next step is I really want to get an agent so I can find out about more of these films that I don't hear about and things like that. If you were offered a lot of money to be a lead in a porno, would you do it? I really don't have any interest in being a porno. You know what I mean? Because also if you were in them now, it would be very difficult to go back into, the regular one. I think the only thing I would ever possibly do would be if it was like some kind of a porno, was like a porn spoof, and I wouldn't be like the guy in it doing anything. I'd be like the comedic relief or something in it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be totally opposed to that. But, I'd probably do it under a different name or something, although people would, I'm sure, figure it out. But, I think that's the only way I would ever do it. What does Danny Trejo smell like? Well, I wasn't sniffing Danny Trejo, so I don't know. Some question, whatever happened to your big brother on the first day of high school? Well, I don't have a big brother. Do you like American or English humor more? Sometimes I think, English humor can be a little bit funnier sometimes, with Mr. Bean and things like that, and, Come Fly With Me in Little Britain. I mean, those are some of the things I laugh at more than anything, although Larry David is another one. And, people hated Bucky Larson. I hadn't laughed at a movie as much as I laughed at Bucky Larson in years. I can't even remember the last time I laughed like that. So that's why I like Bucky Larson, even though everybody hated it. I think, Nick Swardson is great. And I think, I think he's, really funny. Just how bad was your swimmer's ear? And are you religious? No, I've never had, I've never been a very religious person. I haven't, I've never had any problem with anybody's religion or anything like that. I can see, too, how, like, people need that, some things like that in their life, and I've never had a problem with that. But it's never been my personal thing. I always kind of think, you never know what happens when you die. I always kind of thought, maybe you come back as something else. Who knows? It's almost like you're just going to have to see what happens when it happens, and hope for the best. With swimmer's ear, that was horrible. It was a little bit like someone took this pen and shoved it in my ear and twisted it around. But it was even more like a knife, like a real sharp knife twisting in my ear. I really had never experienced so much pain in my life, and I had to get on like painkillers for it. And it wasn't even swimming. I got swimmer's ear from taking a shower, and I think swabbing my ear afterwards. And I think with the swab, I think there was like a cut or something in my ear, and the swab opened the cut up or some shit like that, and then water got stuck in there, and then it got infected. It was awful. I hope to God that never happens again. Even God, that was a good fit there. What motivates you to keep moving towards your goals? I don't know, just like when you get a form of success, you know what I mean, with something, or something really works out. I follow your videos for a while, and I'd like to know what has inspired you to keep trying. I mean, just because I think more just because things seem to keep working. You know what I mean? Like if things really didn't seem to happen, I wasn't ever getting any work and stuff like that, I don't know if I would keep up with it. The thing is, though, I've always been kind of you know, when this is something that I want to do, I don't let it fail. You know what I mean? Like some people like want to be an actor and things like that, but they don't um, pursue it as much as I do. Like that's all I'm ever thinking about. So and I think, you know, just motivating is just, you know, getting to get on something like Haunted High and Girls Gone Dead, like really cool things that I'm really excited about, and then like, you know, and getting the last movie really was a big boost too, for me to know that this is the right thing to do. Um, what do you think of Hellraiser as a franchise? You know, for some reason I never like absolutely loved those movies. They always kind of creeped me out and were a little gross. You know what I mean? But there's nothing wrong with them. But I never like loved them. What's your view on the Fright Night remake? Do you think Colin Farrell did a good job playing Jerry the Vampire? I didn't get to see that because I was away on the shoot, so I missed it. When I came back, it was gone everywhere. I heard you talk about Giuseppe Andrews in the past. One of the films he directed and the music video he made. What do you recommend checking out? I mean, any of the movies that he sells on his site are like the best ones. And the Troma one, Trailer Town was good too. Home of Haunted High be on the Sci-Fi Channel. I mean, I know it's going to have to be sometime next year, and I'm thinking, you know, mid next year. But the thing is, I have no clue for sure. Are you aware of British comedy series Psychoville and League of Gentlemen? Will you be reviewing them soon? They both made the same guys. You will love them. I got like a thing for the Psychoville, and I think I saw an episode or two of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Have you seen the movie The Cable Guy? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Yeah, I always liked that movie a lot, The Cable Guy. You know, I always liked that scene too in the medieval times. I always kind of wanted to go to that place, but then I was like, kind of always worried that they would be like calling people out, and like, I hate those places where if you go there, they bring attention to you. Like I remember Cirque du Soleil. I won't go to those again because they clown. I remember the one year I was sitting there, and we used to see the thing like go to Florida every year and always see the Cirque du Soleil thing, and I kind of had gotten tired of it. And Virgin Records was next door, and I'm like, I'd rather be just, you know, going. I mean, Virgin Records is now a fart in the wind, but, you know, back then it was thriving. So I was like, I mean, I'd rather be on Virgin Records, you know, buying stuff. But because it was right next to it in downtown Disney. But I was sitting there, like, kind of like this, and the clown was, like, going like this and making these weird faces, and then everybody was laughing and pointing. It was a horrible experience. Are you into steelbooks? If so, name a few you own. I've never been like, you know, too like concerned about getting those. You know, I know a lot of people are like really like them. You know, if I get something that's a steelbook, I'm like, okay. But I've never been like, you know, I've got to go out and get them. What drove you from Maryland to San Diego? Well, you know, it's close to LA, and I like it in San Diego. I'm not right in San Diego either. I'm in like above it a bit, so I'm closer to LA and closer to Anaheim and stuff. But it's more like, you know, just kind of had enough of Maryland. Had enough of the snow and the cold. Like, I do not miss that snow and that horrible, like, getting trapped in the house and all that, and raining every single day and all that. I don't miss that at all. And our house, you know, was starting to fall apart in Maryland. You can only have one. Every DVD made, and to be made, wait, you can only have one. Every DVD ever made, and to be made, or to be a famous actor in Hollywood, what would it be? Well, probably to be a famous actor, because, you know, if I made enough money, I could buy every DVD made. That was another one about Haunted High when it's coming out. Have you seen the movie Sucker Punch? I haven't seen that. Who's your favorite actor, and what was the last time you played a video game? Well, favorite actor, I don't know. I mean, like, Larry David isn't really an actor per se. He's more like himself. But, you know, I really like him. You know, I like a lot of indie horror people I really like, too. You know, like for indie horror, like Danielle Harris and certain people like that I really like. But, you know, Adam Sandler, Clint Howard, a lot of weird people that I really like. Richard Riley, people like that. Who's your favorite video game? I haven't played a video game in a long time. Probably the last time was like maybe the Ghostbusters game, and then I got stuck and didn't do it anymore. Have you seen Deer Hunter? I think so. Who's your favorite movie with Clint Howard? Someone just asked about Clint Howard. Probably, definitely The Ice Cream Man. It's a cheesy movie, but I like it. Hey Sean, I'm an up-and-coming actor. I'd like to say you're inspiration of mine. I wanted to know, how do you negotiate travel in your contracts? Do you go by trains or fly? Also, I would like it if you check out some of my work, my channel, and give me your input. It'd be much appreciated. I think I talked about this question before, but pretty much my thing is, the travel has got to, be covered, that in the hotel, unless, the pay is so much that, I would have enough to even it all out and still come out making, money. Have you seen a movie that really affected you emotionally? For me, it was Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, I'd say that too. That My Girl was depressing. And Bicentennial Man. I can't explain it. After I saw it for the first time, I felt like someone sucker punched me. No, I felt like in Bicentennial Man, it's not, people might make a face, but, it dealt with death so many different times in the movie that you're like crying like a fiend throughout the whole thing. The Help, I was crying like a fiend the whole time, like a fiend. I like a lot of that movie. What else was I, depressing? I said My Girl. Those are some of the ones that were really depressing. So I started watching your video just at the beginning of summer, and I watched them ever since. Here's my question: do you live with your parents? Yes. People keep asking that. Are you an actor and a director? Whatever happened to MJ? And get some sleep. You look tired. Well, sometimes I have insomniac issues with sleeping. Or I go to sleep and I wake up and I'm up for a few hours, and I go back to sleep. It's a fucked up schedule. What was the question? MJ just lives in Maryland still. I really don't think he's going to get out here. It's come to kind of come to the point where, I just don't think that's going to happen. Maybe in a couple of years or something. But I don't want people to keep thinking that is, because it doesn't seem like it. I'll probably go back to Maryland and see him. I don't really want to stay at the house, so that's kind of the problem, is how I'm going to do it. I don't want to stay with Shannon, the roommate. But, I don't want to go into that anymore, then I have to hear about it. But, whatever happened, director. But yeah, I'm an actor, is the main thing. Do you like Krayshawn? I don't, but, Dweebo does. I mean, I can't say I don't, because I don't really know. But, my brother does. Are you excited for the new season of Sons of Anarchy? I never watched that. Would you ever think of making an appearance at some kind of con, not even a panel, a hangout with fans sort of thing? Yeah, I definitely, I wanted to try and do that kind of thing at Comic-Con, but it's so busy there. I may try, especially when things like Haunted High come out, I may try and do some kind of convention signing, because there's so many people that are doing the same, indie horror stuff that I'm doing that are signing, so I'm like, I might as well try it. It's just I have to figure out where to, where would be, the best place. It's kind of where most of my viewers could come, you know what I mean? I don't want to go somewhere and then, no one's there. Did you and Ron Jeremy compare junk on the set of Girls Gone Dead? If so, who was bigger? Now, I didn't see him during that shoot, because they shot that stuff separately than when they did my stuff. But I did see him on the Slaughter Weekend movie. We didn't compare peen size, because, believe me, he'd win. Times 10. I don't know about 10, but, he wins. Yeah. Do you like Spin City? I never watched that. What happened to MJ? Do you speak to him anymore? I mean, I call him all the time and leave a message. That's pretty much all it is. I say, call me back. I never hear a word from him. So I don't know. Sometimes I text him and hear something. But, I know he's working there now. And he's got to try and, pay his, Shannon, the roommate, give the Shannon roommate the money. So, everything. Like I said, I really don't know when I'll see him again. So I'm kind of trying to just sort of just block it out, because it's kind of because people keep asking about him so much, and I don't really know what to say anymore, you know what I mean? Because it's I don't really get any information from him. I don't think he really wants to make videos anymore, so I kind of feel like I get put between, people ask me and I don't know what to say. Let's see what this thing is. A normal day in the life of Herb. What does he do? Well, he's a teacher. Is his main thing. Um, does MJ live with his mother? Actually, don't answer that. We all know it already. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, you know it already. Why are you always so happy? I try and keep positive. That's why, like, when people bring a lot of negativity to the comments and stuff, it's kind of like I try and be a positive person. I don't try and look at the gloom and doom of everything and just be depressed and upset about it. I mean, because I know a lot of people. Some people are kind of like that all the time. People I worked with people like that at the movie theaters and stuff like that. And like, it's a buzzkill to be around that kind of thing. I just don't like that. What are your favorite documentaries? Um, I don't know for favorite ones. Do you think video rental stores will go out of business because of VOD and Netflix? I think they're already, gone. I feel bad for Wet Movie about that, but I think that, that's kind of happening. Looking forward to the World War Z movie? I don't know. How was your experience during Mr. Bricks? That was a good shoot. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie. I think it's going to be pretty cool, and I know it's like winning a lot of awards and everything. So that should be pretty cool. I definitely, I filmed it during a really rough time. I'm not getting into what was going on then, but some of you know. But, besides the terrible experience at the time, which had nothing to do with the movie experience was great. I feel really good about it. I just can't wait to see it. And it will be out on DVD from Troma, and I think there's going to be some theater screenings of it, too. Other than Tom Savini, any other bad experience you've had with people you expected? Well, it wasn't really a bad experience with Tom Savini. It was just kind of like everyone has a bad experience with Tom Savini at conventions. But he seems alright at times, though. But never really anybody else that I can think of off the bat. Did you meet James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd at Comic-Con? Yeah, he was in that line with us, the Beavis and Butthead line, but I didn't even notice that he was there because I wasn't paying attention. I was so worried about getting into that panel with Beavis and Butthead that I didn't even get into it anyway. Hey Sean, why don't you keep working YouTube for more, especially because you have the personality to be one of the top guys, and there are a lot of good money to be made. I mean, I'm pretty much doing the YouTube stuff still, but I like doing the movies. The movies is more what I really like to do. What happened to the video made with Sam Macaroni? It was made private. Yeah, he asked me to make that private because he's, the stuff he's doing with Shay Carl and stuff, and he doesn't want it to be like. We're gonna do another one at some point, all of us together, and I guess Shay Carl will be in it. We'll try and plan that out. But yeah, since it's it was a little bit adult, some of the stuff we said. And, the videos he makes, Jay Carl, more PG. We didn't want to, have them all cross into at the same time and stuff. I noticed one of your videos, you got a copy of Abominable on DVD, which is a Kill a Bigfoot movie. In my opinion, it's the best Bigfoot movie I've ever seen. What's your take on it? Well, what about I Saw the Sasquatch? But, no, I like that movie a lot. Have you ever watched The Hitcher? The original, if so, what'd you think of it? Yeah, I like the original Hitcher. They made that sequel with Jake Busey. That really wasn't very good. But I liked that a lot. What is your favorite beer? Probably that Line & Kugels and Rolling Rock, but I don't think I've drank a beer in like a year or so. I really don't drink very much. That's never really been my thing. Like, it's certain things like, if I'm celebrating something. But, when you drive, too, I don't like drinking and driving. I only ever, had an experience with that once at the graduation, which was stupid. Like, not the high school reunion, the 5-year reunion. And that was dumb. Me and Matt both drove drunk, and that was stupid. And that's never something I would do again. I mean, nothing bad happened, but I was shit-faced, and I really regretted that when I thought back on it. So it's like, I really don't do that. Sometimes I go places too, and people are like, Sean, why aren't you drinking? Yeah, it's not my thing, you know what I mean? Like I said, certain experiences and stuff. I went to Vegas, I had some rum and cokes and stuff, you know what I mean? That was just because, too, it was kind of crazy. I just wanted to sort of chill out, and Gabe was like, grabbing up on everyone's booth. He's just nuts. Hey Sean, are you a fan of The Lord of the Rings? I know I'm a huge fan. If you are, what are your thoughts on making a prequel movie or even a sequel? Would you be 100% for another movie, um, excluding The Hobbit? I mean, those movies, I always kind of say there's nothing wrong with them. They're really well done movies, but they're just never really something I really loved. If acting hadn't worked out, what would be your number one list of things you'd like to get a job as? Well, definitely directing is probably, but the acting thing, it's all up to me to make it work. That's truthfully, I really can't rely on anybody else but myself. So I'm not gonna let it fail. You know what I mean? I'm gonna work at it, and continue to just keep building up and everything. You know what I mean? And I don't care about getting famous at it. I don't act to be famous, do movies to be famous. I do it because it's what I love to do. Some people go at it, and I know they're all about getting famous. I'm going to be famous one day. That's not a big deal to me. I like having the followers I do on here. And if I get a fan base, from the movies only, that's great. But it's not like my only goal. But I know a lot of people have that kind of, they only go in it to become rich and famous and stuff, which is not how it works with the movies. Not even the big movies. Most people on the big movies are getting scale or regular, which is like $1,500 a day. Have you ever watched Crocodile Hunter? If so, what was your favorite episode? I don't really know specifically like the episodes, but I did watch that series. Well, it's 26 minutes, so I guess this is all for this part. So anyway, though, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.